I'll read you something, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney for making these statements or answering any questions.
Remember the arrest of #1 golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler?
My tee time.
Yeah.
I had to loop all the way around. That way it took me about probably a half hour.
Okay.
So I pull in here. The police officer up there told me to come the opposite way with the traffic and then come in. And as I was pulling in, my window was down, and the officer told me to stop. And as first of all, I did not know that he was a police officer. I thought he was one of the security guards that was mistaken. And as I was pulling by him, he grabbed my arm.
Stop right there. Why does it matter if he's a security guard or a police officer?
Because
if somebody's telling you to stop.
Yes, you're right. I should have stopped. I did get a little bit impatient because I'm quite late for my tee time. And as he was reaching in the car, he grabbed my shoulder and hit me. Like
trying to get you to stop, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It seemed to be a little bit over aggressive because the entrance was open.
Okay.
And I pulled a little bit because I was afraid. I thought he was going to start hitting me, and I didn't know who he was. He didn't tell me he was a police officer. All I saw was the yellow jacket. I didn't know what he was doing.
In video shared by Golf Digest's Alex Myers, we hear from Scheffler after the commotion outside of Valhalla.
Listen, police officer.
So the thing is, he's wearing a uniform. Okay.
He
also is wearing the same jacket that I have on that says police.
Yes.
Okay. Also, on that, if someone's telling you to stop, no matter who it is, you don't keep going. So what happened is, you kept going and you took him with you while he's a pedestrian. Okay.
Yes.
So you took him with your car.
Yes.
And drug him. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is not a good thing,
I'm
right?
very aware that was.
To make it so, listen to me. So make it even worse. When he asked you to get out of the car, you refused to get out of the car.
I still was not aware he was a police officer. I was actually looking out the window of the car to try to find a police officer. I asked.
We're all right here, and he was there.
Believe me, sir. If I knew
we're all wearing yellow vests so you can see us.
If he knew he was a police officer, I would have been much more less afraid. But panic kind of set in. As you can see, I'm still shaking because I was afraid. I didn't know who he was.
Scheffler continues telling another LMPD officer his side of the story to no avail.
He didn't say, police, get out of the car. He just hit me with his flashlight and yelled, get out of the car.
We're wearing a lot of police gear. That surely signifies that we're the police.
Believe me, if I knew he was a police officer, I would have gotten out of the car. I don't know what to tell you other than I was a little bit panicked trying to get into the golf course, and now I don't know what to do.
Let's go back to the first point, okay? No matter if you thought it was a police officer or not, why are we wearing yellow vests? Why do you think we're wearing yellow vests? So you can see us, right?
Yes.
So you can see us, and if somebody tells you to stop, if it's a traffic guard, security guard, anybody, that means you stop at that time and you don't keep going.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so stuff like this doesn't happen.
Yes.
Because you actually hurt him, and he's a police officer.
Yes.
He's got a huge scrape on his knee. He's getting checked by EMS, big bruise. So I don't know. But for you right now, the main question is if you're going to jail, and it's up to him. I don't know.
Am I able to speak with him?
No, not at this time. No.
Scheffler admits he should have stopped. However, he claims the officer did not identify himself during the encounter. Here's Scheffler's lawyer, Steve Romine, speaking with Golf Channel.
Scottie was advised to, go around and turn left into the facility to come and, do his pre-round preparation. The officer who charged him obviously didn't know that. And so, he did what he was instructed to do, and, the officer who arrested him didn't think he was supposed to be doing that. And so that's where the miscommunication occurred. Whether they were part of the same, they were on radio together, the two officers, as to why they, didn't believe he was allowed to do that or whatever. He's in a marked courtesy vehicle with his credentials out and did what he was instructed to do.
Who concludes it was a miscommunication. The larger police presence and in turn delays Scheffler was overheard discussing stem from a death involving a worker being struck by a motor vehicle. The PGA extended their condolences.
He's accused of injuring a police officer after trying to drive around a crash while trying to get to the PGA Championship. Well, he faces felony charges, but attorney says Scheffler will plead not guilty.
This is the arrest in question. Judge for yourself as you wish.
Obviously, to get his bond set, I've got to talk to prosecutors. So, anything is possible. They'll either be dropped or we'll go to trial because he didn't do anything wrong. So we're not interested in, any sort of settlement negotiations or anything like that. he didn't do anything wrong. It was just a big miscommunication. You know, and one thing needs to be clear: he didn't drive through any accident scene or you know, any investigation. None of that happened. That kind of misinformation is out there, and that did not occur.
Romines obviously is confident in his case for his client. Let's go over the charges once more, shall we? Second-degree assault of a police officer, which is a felony. Third-degree criminal mischief, a listed misdemeanor. Reckless driving, disregarding traffic signals from an officer directing traffic, a misdemeanor. This is the officer, whose name is Brian Gillis. He was the cop on the scene who claims he was dragged by Scottie Scheffler. His body cam was not activated. According to the LMPD, Gillis received a letter of reprimand in the year 2021 for engaging in an act of a police pursuit with a car that did not commit a violent felony, or outstanding warrant. He would be suspended for operating an emergency vehicle's lights and doing donuts with a drunk passenger inside the car. He was found at fault for not one, not two, not three, but 4 crashes from 2008 to 2021. He was also suspended multiple times for failing to appear in court. The officer claimed, per a police statement, that Scheffler refused to comply and thus accelerated his vehicle forward, dragging Gillis, and the officer fell to the ground. It was also reported Gillis was taken to the hospital. The details many are transfixed on is that the officer's pants were, quote, damaged beyond repair. The cost was said to have been $80. The Lexington Herald would go on to print a pole-mounted video from across Shelbyville Road. Did not appear to substantiate the detective's account. 3 ESPN employees who were arriving at the scene to cover the PGA tournament also gave eyewitness reports that disputed it. Scheffler currently faces a maximum 10-year prison sentence and a fine of up to $10,000 if convicted on second-degree assault charges. Lastly, from Myers, on May 23rd, the Louisville mayor and police chief announced Detective Gillis had been disciplined for a policy violation because he didn't activate his body cam during the arrest with Scheffler, but that charges against the number 1 golfer remain. That day, LMPD also released 2 videos, but neither showed Scheffler's conversation with a cop in the immediate aftermath of the arrest. Corey DuBose, a criminal defense attorney, would write on Twitter, a lesson. Even if you are Scottie Scheffler, you will not talk your way out of trouble. You may talk your way into trouble, though. Repeat after me. Respectfully, sir, I'd like to speak to my lawyer. I will conclude with this. We have now seen multiple reports on behalf of the police that do not show the crime that took place, in my opinion. What we are seeing is videos that show an officer, a man that we now know is an officer. I agree with Scottie Scheffler. Could have been a security guard. That ran up to Scheffler and he stopped almost immediately from the video evidence that we have. Secondly, take the lawyer's advice. You will not do anything to help your cause. Cops are always looking for ways to get someone in trouble, and mainly for them to incriminate themselves. It is not hard when they are reading, which they should, your Miranda rights, but if they don't, to then say what Corey said, which is, respectfully, I'd like to speak to my lawyer. And that's it. And they will try to hit you with so many fear tactics because that is what they are trained to do. Don't give in. The third is this. The officer who was speaking to Scottie Scheffler was saying, what do you mean? You thought it was a security guard. You should stop. That is true. He should. But we have seen, and this is not a defense, but we have seen multiple videos of people who are dressed up as security guards in order to get into an event. I remember seeing some dudes get into golf tournaments. I remember seeing some dudes get into Coachella for free. all because they dressed up as security. And they were wearing like a mock, lime green shirt. In addition to this, hearing the officer say, well, he was wearing something that said police. It is completely dark outside, right? And if that applies to the officer, because I haven't seen the uniform yet, we don't know how big or small it says police on there. Why doesn't the same apply to Scottie Scheffler on behalf of the cops? Because he was in a marked vehicle that showed it was a courtesy car, courtesy of Lexus, for the players to get in immediately. Anyways, if you can, please do become a channel member here at youtube.com/TYT Sports. Go to our homepage, click the join button, or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can support me on my socials, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, TikTok. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.